Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Sports Minute. I am hosting tonight, Big B, filling in for Ace, who our normal host. He's having a little technical issues, I think, today. So I am joined by my man, Crispy Bacon. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. And down below us, he is having some issues, so he may be popping in and out. But James Gonzalez, how you doing, bud? Yeah, like I said, he's having. We didn't hear you, James. So I don't know if you're having technical
Can you
issues.
hear me now?
Yeah, we can. So how you doing?
Okay.
All right. So let's start off today, guys. I hate to start off with sad news, but Chris, I know you're a Cowboys fan. I was a fan of him when he was with the Gophers. Marion Barber III was found dead today in his apartment. I guess it was somebody called and had a wellness check done on him, and that's how they found him. Haven't heard nothing else, but Chris, what did you think of Marion Barber's career as a Cowboy?
Oh man, he was really good. He was kind of the first, I guess, running back I started with, as far as watching Cowboy games. He had a good 2-yard run back in the end zone. He was really good, and that's the thing with running backs. You use them too much, and they don't last too long.
Yeah, no, he definitely him and Maroney back with the Gophers split carries, and I think 1 year they both had like 1,000 yards. So he definitely was a great running back. James, what do you know or what do you remember about Marion Barber III?
Well, I was reading a report. Des Bryant was saying he voices concern about, I believe, a year ago or so about Marion Barber, that he wasn't doing well. He didn't look well. And, it was unfortunate. I wonder if mental health played a role in this. I'm just wondering what happened. But so RIP. But yeah, I think everybody's going through something, The playing career, though, there's 2 runs I kind of remember. One run, I think Chris just referenced this, where he's trying to get out of the end zone to avoid a safety. I think he loses maybe a yard or 2, but it's the best negative yard run since Walter Payton.
Okay.
And it was against Texas or against Dallas. Walter Payton's negative run.
Oh, yeah.
But Marion Barber did one better. And then I remember, I think with the Bears, he did like a flip after a touchdown and and he's just one of those players. Know what he was going to do, honestly. So, but rest in peace. I just wonder what went wrong in his life.
Yeah, it'll be. I hate the word interesting, but it'll be kind of interesting to see what they come out, what they find.
He was in and out of
what's
jail.
that?
He was in and out of jail a couple times.
Yeah, he had some troubles, I know, and honestly, kind of when the name popped up, I'm like, wow, that's a name I haven't heard for in a while. So, Chris is chiming in. Hi guys, and rest in peace to Marion Barber. So, yeah, shocking story. I kind of was looking on the internet when I first saw it pop up to see, 1, if it was true, because we know how the stories are, and 2, to find out any information. So, but anyways, let's move on. Basketball finals starts tomorrow, I believe, in Miami, or not Miami, in Golden State. Boston, the Warriors. So, James, what do you give us a little intake on what you think this series is going to be?
I hope it goes 7 games, but I think it'll go probably 5 or 6. Honestly, I think Golden State just has too much firepower. I think the only way Boston makes it a series that they play perfect every game, and they play perfect defense on Curry and on Klay Thompson, and it doesn't allow Draymond Green to do his thing. And then offensively, everybody's got to contribute. That's definitely the only way the Celtics make it a series or win it somehow. There was one more thing about it too. I lost my train of thought. But I'm just hoping for a good series because I think the playoffs was kind of a lull. I mean, there was one Game 7 series I was trying to think about, but honestly, this was probably the best matchup we come up with, honestly. And the Marcus Smart thing with Curry earlier this year. It wasn't really a dirty play by Smart. He cut under Curry on a loose ball, and I think everybody thought Curry was going to miss the year. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic with those two if Smart is guarding Curry, how those two match up, and we'll see how the foul calls are when Smart is playing Curry and if he's going to guard him or not. But that's an interesting storyline to get to tomorrow and throughout the series. But I think Warriors in 5 or 6.
All right, Chris, how about you? What are you gonna take out of this series?
Both teams are really good. I'm probably going with Warriors. They've been here a couple times, more recently than Boston. I know Boston's been there a few times. Probably 10 years ago. I'm probably thinking
2010 was the last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, Warriors been there most recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have the upper hand. But as far as this matchup goes, I think it's the first time, maybe in the 50s, these two have met in a playoff for NBA Finals.
Maybe early 60s.
Yeah, it's up.
San Francisco Warriors in Boston, but Boston.
Yeah, I'm with James. I hope it goes 7. But if they can stop Curry, I think is the main focal point. I was watching something on ESPN, and I think it was Smart. I think has the best defense on Curry, the lowest point total. I think I heard. So if they could do that, then I could see the Celtics doing it. I'm kind of one of those. I'll probably give it a simple answer. I don't care who wins, but as long as it's a good series, no blowouts. Yeah, I could definitely see either team winning. I hope it goes 7 though. So Jason brings up a comment here. What about LeBron going to the Warriors? So is this something he's throwing out, or did I miss a report or something, or is he just trying to?
I haven't heard anything. Yeah.
Honestly, LeBron just needs to stay in LA 1 year. I mean, we all know he's waiting to play with his son.
Mm-hmm.
We know that he's going to, wherever Bronny's drafted, he's going to go sign a deal with play. Which, in all honesty, having a son, good for him. Being able to do the same thing his son does, father son, that's a tremendous feat, I guess. But I just think he did demand a trade. Okay, well,
wow.
If the Warriors want to do it, good luck to them. I mean,
they will not be here next year if that happens.
Yeah. So I just, I think we all know he wants to play with Bronny at least one time, and so I mean, let LeBron go to the Warriors, blow up that team, and like he did the Lakers. I mean, that's why he should just stay with the Lakers right now because that's his team. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you or what's that?
Anywhere but Dallas.
Yeah, or Minnesota. So
go play for the two.
Yeah, James, you're shaking your head no. So, what do you think? LeBron going to the Warriors?
No, I haven't heard anything about that. I know a couple of years ago there was a rumor that that could happen, but you didn't know about the state of the Warriors at the time. And then I want to make it clear: in 1964, they met in the finals, the San Francisco Warriors and the Celtics, and the Celtics won in 5. So that's the only finals history between them.
Oh, interesting.
So Jason also brings up the best father-son duo ever, the Griffeys. I can't not argue that. I mean, I think that's the only family duel that I can recall playing together, that I've seen. I mean, I don't think it's happened in
Playing
football.
together.
I don't think
do they have to play together?
No.
Yeah,
I mean, but just to be on the same field, the Griffins are the only father-son duo I think that's ever played together or against each other.
That kind of sounds about right.
So we can look that up, but I'm almost positive that's the only duel that's played.
I mean, I've heard brothers play against each other.
Yeah, brothers have played against each other, but I think this would be the only father-son duel. Which again, they had one great game where they both hit back-to-back home runs. They're the only father-son duel to do that. So
they always have that.
Yeah,
against the Angels.
So Jason's also put a better baseball family, the Molinas or the Luz. Now there's a good question there, because the Malou brothers or the Lou brothers all played together one time in the outfield, and I think the Molinas are like 5 deep at catcher. So,
oh wow,
I mean, I don't know what I would say. I think they're both pretty good.
Rings.
What's up?
Yeah, Molina's have the rings. Jose and Benji got one with the Angels. Benji has 2. Benji has 2. I don't remember any of the Luz winning championship.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
as far as I know,
Molina's probably better than there. I mean,
yeah, I think just because of Yadier being great.
Yeah.
He's the only Hall of Famer in the group, to be honest.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah. So, also reading here, Josh Donaldson a little upset with the Yankees team because they did support him after his comments towards Anderson. Oh, well. Shouldn't have said it. I mean, I know he wasn't trying to be racist like Anderson took it, but what do you guys think? Should his team back them, or what do you think there, Chris?
I mean, you kind of should, but at the same time, everybody's has a different opinion on what they think is right and wrong.
Yep.
Or what you should say and not say. I don't know, but I think if you meant to say it or not, the team should have his back in either situation.
Yeah, I guess maybe
it's a touchy subject, but
it is a touchy subject. But I guess in the eyes of the cameras, when you're out in the public, maybe you back your teammate, and then behind closed doors, when there's nobody cameras around, then you voice your opinion on how he acted and said. So looks like James had a little technical issue, so it'll be me and Chris here for a little bit.
Yep.
So Jason also got a lot of baseball questions here. Jason, if you want to, J-Mac, jump back on. I know Sportsman fans would love to see you.
Yeah.
Who would you take, Val Guerrero Jr. or Frank Thomas? I've been a big Frank Thomas fan. I'm going to go with Thomas. I thought he was, just a phenomenal power hitter back in the day. Fielding wise, is iffy on that, but I would take Thomas. James, you're back. So, no,
and
he's
he's
not.
gone.
Well, psych. So,
I don't
Chris, I
think
know
you can hear it.
you probably didn't see too much of Frank Thomas. So,
I've heard of him. I mean, I haven't seen
yeah,
too much of him, but I'd probably go with Thomas.
yeah. All right, James, you back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
So I had to go mobile.
Yeah, you look like you're on a little delay there. So who would you take? Well, let's go back. About the Josh Donaldson thing. You think he was right to be upset with his teammates, or do you think his teammates were right to not back him?
Well, if his teammates backed him, they would be considered racist in this time. So they couldn't, Then Donaldson, come to find out, he's had incidents with teammates before. All the clubs that he's been with. So it's kind of just a problem wherever he's been, where it's not okay whatever he's done or said, just in the climate we're in. And the thing is, too, the unpopular opinion for me would be Tim Anderson calling himself Jackie Robinson in the first place. I mean, that's really a wrong statement, because you're not breaking a barrier. You are African American,
Yep.
but you're not carrying yourself like Jackie Robinson, because he did it with class. Tim Anderson is out here creating trouble with anyone. He's flipping off fans. He's yelling at other players. Not his teammates, I think, get sick of him doing stuff. And I know Grandal kind of protected him, but I think there's a drawing line when your teammates have to keep defending you to the point where it's you're so toxic to be around. Hopefully that doesn't happen with Anderson. I really like what he does. The way he plays is the new style where, let the kids play and bat flip and do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Donaldson is different, and this is going to linger with him forever. And, again, I don't think, either guy did anything wrong, but it's just in perception of other people, Donaldson was in the wrong. To me, I don't think so, because I don't think that way. I don't think like other people do.
I'm kind of the same way. I think,
yeah.
You're talking about a great baseball player. You're kind of emulating a little bit.
Yep.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so James, the next question Jason brought up was, would you rather take Val Guerrero's senior? Oh, he said senior. I thought he said junior. That kind of might change my answer a little bit, because I like, or would you rather take Frank Thomas? Just, I'm guessing, to start your team or build around.
Senior, so Gladdy senior.
Yeah, Gladdy senior. I thought he said junior at first, so, but. Now that I see it's the senior, I'm kind of a fan of both, actually. So it'd be a tough call for me. The one thing I liked about Val is he swung at everything. That ball bounces, he swings at it. I mean, so I might stick with Thomas, though. What about you, James?
Depending on longevity, I'd probably have to go Vladimir Guerrero, and then I'm kind of biased anyway. I'm gonna turn on my camera and you'll see why. Yeah. So
no, he was a great player. I liked him. I mean,
so I would, but I think it would depend on what am I needing to start with. Do I need a first baseman with power, or do I have an outfielder who can run, hit and then throw people out? Right.
Oh, yeah, the cannon on him.
I think if I don't need the long ball right away, I'm going with Guerrero.
Yeah. No, I get that take. I mean, can't argue with that. So, Jason's still firing off the questions here. This is turned into the JMac question segment, I guess, which is fine. Would you rather a guy hit 220 with 35 home runs over 100 RBIs, 150 Ks, or 315 home runs, 25 stolen bases, 75 RBIs, and strikes out less than 100. So, James, I'll start with you. What would you rather have?
So basically, a player now, and then the other guy is a player back in like the 1980s or 90s.
Pretty
That's the
much.
comparison.
Yeah, pretty much is what the 220, 35 home runs is now, and then a guy back in the
Yeah.
you know.
For me, I want the latter. I want the guy who hits for average, hits home runs, but not as much, but gets on base, can steal bases, but doesn't strike out. Keep us
Yep.
in a game, so to speak. So yeah,
Yep.
I'd go with the latter on that.
Yeah, Chris, how about you?
Yeah. No, I agree, but out of the two options, I'd probably pick the second one. Only
Yeah, I
because,
gotta go the
Yeah.
old way because like
no
James
analytics.
said that reminiscence of the 80s, early baseball where you get the 315 home runs. And honestly, that those stats right there are probably MVP type of numbers back in the day. So,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and now, yeah, you're going to get 30 home runs and a 100 RBI guy, but, what's your team record going to be like? So, so we had a major golf exhibition today, guys. I don't know if
I
anybody
forgot
caught
about
it. I
that.
didn't.
Yeah,
James, I
it
know
was at work.
I thought maybe you're like, oh man, I really missed it. So we had Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers defeat Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Well, we
The
kind of
quarterback,
figured.
Josh Allen, just so anybody doesn't get mixed up. It's not the defensive player, Josh Allen. It's
We
the
we
quarterback.
kind of figured Brady would win this, though.
Honestly, I didn't know really who would have won this, but it was and I don't understand why they only played 12. That still kind of threw me off. But it looks like Aaron Rodgers drained a putt on the final hole to give his team the one hole win. So, um, I didn't see it, but I wish I could have. I think this all started back with
The pandemic, I think.
well, no, yeah, but it was with Woods and
McElroy, I think it was.
yeah, I think they
McElroy
kind
or
of started.
Phelps.
What's that?
McElroy or Phelps. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it started with one of the combination of those guys to just have a little donation charity thing, and now it's turned into this. So,
I think it's fun.
I kind of wish the young guns would have won, but hey, Brady and Rogers did it. So, James, what did you think, or what do you think?
Well, of course I didn't see it, but I think the reason they had the 12-hole exhibition because of television. You didn't want, to go longer at all.
Yeah,
But it was for a good cause, though. They raised enough money to donate 258 meals for Feeding America. I think that's the best part about all
that's
this
the
is that,
winning for sure.
yeah, and then these sponsors that get it. The trash talk probably was great. Commentating was, Charles Barkley, and I absolutely love Charles Barkley. Trevor Eelman, and then Shaquille O'Neal even chimed in. So that would have been a fun thing to watch. And then having Ernie Johnson host it, I think anything those guys do, I'm all in. So if I could, I would watch it. If I find it somewhere, I'll try to watch it.
All right, Chris, how about you?
No, I mean, I think I saw a little bit of the first one they did, and I thought it was kind of cool. They're kind of, wired for sound,
Mhm.
and all of that. And it's kind of interesting because normally golf players aren't wired like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're celebrities and they're athletes, but it's just kind of fun to see. It's not your regular golf event.
Yeah, no, it's always good, and of course the winners actually is the charity, so
Yeah.
they got the money. I mean, so good for them. I'm glad there was a good turnout. Oh, can't wait to see the highlights on ESPN. So, Jason Chubb said, "Do you think that golf is the sport between a professional and just your average player?" Nope, the one of yeah. So, golf is something I think everybody can do. It all depends on how good you are at it. You know,
Golf and
I don't.
bowling, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Bowling too. So I don't know how often you guys get out. I get out, probably half a dozen times a year. I ain't good. So
I haven't been in a
James, how
long.
about you? Do you get out much for golf? And
No,
uh,
I think back in 2010 or 11, like was the last time I went to the driving course, and I kept hooking it right, and it was just embarrassing, honestly.
yeah, okay. So do you think the golf has a large gap between a professional and just? Oh, I see what it. Oh, okay. I get what he's
Like
saying. So
payouts, I think.
so he rephrased it a little bit. Yeah, I guess if
I
he's
don't know
talking
how much
about if
they
anybody
make.
could play it and be a professional, yeah, there's a big gap I think in between.
Yeah.
You got to go out there practice all the time. You know,
I played
you
mini
know, you
golf, but not
yeah,
regular.
yeah, mini golf. I mean, hey, that's been on ESPN a few times too. I've seen. So
Yeah.
yeah. So let's get into some baseball scores here, guys. James, how's your Angels do tonight?
Well, fortunately, they didn't play because of a rain delay.
Oh, so they
They
won.
it feels like a
They
win.
need a roof. They need
Uh,
a roof.
yeah, because they lost their last 6 straight games. They got swept by just once, lost to New York Tuesday. They had Memorial Day off, which was weird, and they'll have 4th of July off too. I was telling somebody that went to the game today and couldn't see the game. I said, it was unfortunate you didn't see the game, but even though the Angels had Monday off, it felt like they needed a day off. They still
Yeah.
need a day off to get right. But now they're what, 27-23. They're free falling. Texas is right there. I think they're 500 or one game above, one game under.
Before tonight, they were 24-24.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
they
on
lost
they're on
tonight.
the Angels for that wild card spot.
Yep.
It's going to be horrible all year, and if this continues with the Angels, it's going to be the same old song. Um, just bad pitching, no timely hitting. The defense, you can't do anything when the ball gets hit out of your jurisdiction, basically, or over the fence. You can't do anything about it. So the defense isn't really an issue. It's just the pitching and the hitting not being there at the same time. That's going to contribute to the losses, and it just sucks.
So, Chris, how about your Rangers? I see they took a heartbreaker in 11. So,
Yeah, unfortunately. I
but they
mean,
look like they're coming around. They started off slow a little bit. So,
2-9 at the start, ended off the month with a 17-10 record, 24-24, which is above or at 500, but suffered the loss tonight. I think we're doing better.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Way better.
The Twins are 30-22. They lost the last two. They've only been able to get 5 hits in their last 2 games, no runs. So they're a team that, the bats go cold. They go ice cold like Minnesota weather here. When it gets cold, it gets cold. So hopefully they can turn it around. I know they're battling some injuries. And then they're coming up to Toronto, which they're going to have a few guys missing because of the COVID rules up there. So we'll see. Hopefully they're in it. So let's move on to J-Mac's next comment here. How about Becky Hammond starting her WNBA career at 9-1? So just in case anybody knows, she was the coach or assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs and got hired to coach the WNBA team, which somebody thought was the LA Raiders. I don't know. But anyway, so Chris, what do you think? She went to Vegas. She's starting off 9-1.
That's pretty good. I mean, for your first year being a head coach in the biggest women's professional that I can think of, women's professional basketball. That's impressive and pretty impressive for any coach, male or female, to get your first 9 out of your 10 victories, or get 9 out of 10. So And that's
Yep.
pretty
James, how
good.
about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a great start, no doubt. I did watch him. I think it was 2 weeks ago or so. They blew out the Mercury, and the Mercury, of course, do not have Brittany Griner. She's
Yep.
still, being held in Russia, and I don't know how that situation's going to end up. But they look damn near unstoppable, honestly, the Aces. And I think Becky Hammond, again, one of the best, point guards playing, but also one of the best minds in the women's game. So whoever got her, this was going to happen, or they were going to make an underachieving team stronger. And this team, the Aces, they do have, pardon the pun, but they do have some aces, and Becky Hammond's playing the right cards, and I'm very happy for her. And I'm thinking, I'll say it now. I think the Aces will go to the finals.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, I can't disagree with you on that. Just looking at the standings here, yeah, she's nine. They're 9-1. They're a plus 12 in the point score difference, which is the highest. My Lynx, they're 2-8 right now. They're struggling, but we'll see if they come on. And Chris's Cowboys, Dallas is 5-4. So, God, I'm just struggling here. So
Where are the Sparks in last?
Sparks are LA Sparks. No, they're 5-6 right now.
5-6. Yeah, I knew they were going to struggle because they have Cambridge, and I don't know if her heart's in the game. It seems like she's always doing something else.
Yeah.
So it might be a struggle all year with the Sparks and Cambridge.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
All right. So J Mac also answered: Will Becky Hammonds be the first woman to coach an NBA team? She should have been. She should have got hired.
Yeah.
I think.
You should have, yeah.
Should have took over for Pop. She should have got hired one of the open vacancy spots. I think it shocked a lot of people that she did not. I think she had a couple of interviews in recent before she took the Vegas job.
Yeah, one thing I read, just read now, if the Portland Trailblazers weren't for sale, she would have been the coach instead of Chauncey Billups.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah, so Chauncey Billups hasn't gone off to a great start. Yes, Lillard got injured, and they traded away C.J. McCollum, and then the team is for sale. But if things were more stable, I think Becky Hammond would have been the first women's head coach in the NBA for Portland. So that would have been cool. That would have been very cool to see that. But she's got a bright future ahead, and she's already dominating the women's game. So there's no limit to what she can do, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's just due time until somebody like her gets her coach.
I think it'll happen. I mean, I think I saw something where in the near future, NBA is supposed to announce 2 expansion teams.
Yep, it sounds like they're going Vegas and Seattle. So
yeah,
the talks about my Timberwolves moving to Seattle can be squashed right now. They're not going anywhere. So
she could coach the Vegas team.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, and honestly, could she do both of them? Coach the Vegas Aces and then coach the Vegas.
That'd be a lot, though. Year round.
It would be a lot. Don't get me wrong. So let's touch on a little hockey right now before we get to J-Mac's next comment, because it's one of my favorite times of the year. What about these two the finals here, the East Finals and West Finals? Tuesday we saw the Avalanche take down the Oilers 8-6, and then tonight we saw the Rangers take down the Lightning 6-2. So a lot of scoring going on right now, which is kind of odd for hockey. So
yeah,
Chris, what do you think? Is this going to be one of those high scoring playoff series, or is it just kind of the feel out stage?
I think maybe the first 2 games you're going to see a lot of scoring, but maybe it's just a feel out game. I don't know. But it's going to make for 2 interesting series going down the stretch for the to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
All right, James, how about you? What do you think? We're gonna see a high scoring series going into the Stanley Cup here, or are we gonna? Is this gonna be just a feel out stage?
I can recall that one high scoring series. Well, at the beginning, it was 9-6. I think that was Calgary, or Calgary and Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
Game where game one was just on steroids, basically, and after that, things evened out, and Edmonton went on and did well. So I think things even out. Sometimes you'll have these love games in the NBA as well, and then things nowadays are good enough. But hockey, it's a different animal. Sometimes everybody, skates in unison. Somebody everyone off on the team. So I can't wait. I'm gonna have to have 2 screens going once I get off of work. Because Oilers and Avalanche say that'll be almost the same time as the Game 1 NBA Finals. So I'll definitely be tuned in for Friday.
Oh,
all right. I guess the internet didn't like James's comments about the NBA Finals there in the hockey.
I've tried watching a game with 2 screens. It's hard to do.
Yeah, it is. About this playoff time. So,
right.
Let's see. J-Max saying Tampa Bay versus Colorado in the Stanley Cup Finals. Colorado in 7. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, we definitely can. So, James, you're back. You kind of were muffled a little bit, then got kicked off. So, are we back? Yeah, you're still kind of muffled. We're sorry for the technical issues James is having. So,
I think.
Okay. All right. So let's get on. We'll probably cut this a little short, guys. Didn't have much really going on, but anyways. So J-Mac typed in, it's almost time for the Little League World Series. What is your favorite baseball all year? Is this your favorite baseball? I love the Little League World Series.
Yeah.
I like watching the little guys go out there. Well, not so much little anymore. I mean,
I know what you mean.
The
future generation.
So,
the future generation.
Yeah. So, no, I definitely love watching the Little League World Series, the College World Series, College Softball World Series. I get into it all. James, what about you? You get into the Little League World Series or?
I think only if a San Diego team gets in or a LA team gets in, like that. And kind of the same with college, although watch final. If a local team does.
All right, yeah, James has some technical issues, so we'll see if we get him back on. But yeah, for me, watching the little guys play, their hearts out, and and they get emotional too. I've seen some heartbreaks. I've seen some kids, get up there and don't do a good job, and they, and the sad thing is you get the cameras on them and you can see them fight back the tears and stuff. And it's just like, come on, let them have their moment. So hopefully we get a good series, college or Little League World Series, College World Series. Get some good baseball going because that's the pastime. Mess around Dave's chiming in. What's up, my peeps? What's up, Dave? Yeah, James said his internet's cutting him off, so he's gonna be gone for the rest of the show. Let's see what else we got here, Chris. What else is on your mind? What else you got?
I'm trying to think of something.
Well, here's something that just came up with the whole controversy revolving the slap between Tommy Ham and Jarek Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout was the commissioner of that league, and now he's debating on whether to keep it going or step down himself as commissioner. So
Step down. It's not worth it.
honestly, you're right. I
For
mean,
your playing career, it's not worth it.
yeah. So it's kind of weird that fantasy football has now factored into Mike Trout deciding if he's going to step down as a commissioner of a fantasy league. But
Okay, I got a question.
yeah, what's up? What's
What
up?
is the weirdest fantasy football bet you've heard of or been a part of or whatever?
No, I mean, I talked to a lot of guys. They're like, "Oh, we play." I think one guy told me his league is like $1,000, winner take all, and it's just like, wow.
Did they put $1,000 in, or like,
What's that?
do they put $1,000 in?
Yeah. They put $1,000 in per team, and then I think each transaction's $100. I think he said, and that money all gets split up between second and third. But the winner takes all. I don't know. I like doing it for fun, doing it for bragging rights.
Yeah.
I mean, I might do a league here for like $20, but yeah, I can't,
Or I've heard somebody say you have to wear this sign, in public, and it's something humiliating, and I lost at fantasy. They go in the middle, but no.
So Jason chimes in. I heard a league where a guy who comes in last had to drink a beer from the winner's shoe. Wow. Man, that's tough. I mean, hopefully it wasn't J-Mac himself that had to do that, but because he likes to stack running backs, in the draft. So
I like
the trade bait. So, but and that Dave mess around. What if you guys don't know mess around, he's our self-proclaimed napping champion. So he just woke up from doing a good competition in the napping department. So we like to welcome him around. So I'm just looking at some news here. I don't see anything else. Jimbo said Saban's spat is over. They're moving on. Good, because I'm moving on from it.
I've already moved on.
Yeah, exactly. I think the whole world's moved on except for them two. So and the media, ESPN keeps bringing it up.
ESPN brings up a bunch of stuff too often. I mean,
yeah. So, but that let's see. Talk about professional cardboard tooth fighting. All right. So if you guys have followed SportsMinute in the past, we always talk about some kind of outrageous sport. We used to have topics and stuff, and one was the weirdest sports, and we found out cardboarding tooth fighting was actually a real sport. So we'll have to look into that. Maybe next show J-Mac will give the favorites, unless you got a favorite in the cardboard tooth fighting or so.
I've never watched cardboard tooth fighting, so I don't know who's actually
speaking of weird sports, Chris, you used to follow the fan controlled football league. How's that going?
I haven't watched much of it. It's pretty much the same thing as it was last year. T.O. was in it, Terrell Owens.
Yep.
Manziel's in it, and I'm sure a lot of former NFL players are in it. But I mean, it's a good place to start or rebuild your career. But I don't know. A lot of fans like it, so
yeah,
I'm just not into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people say that football's football and they'll watch it, but I don't know. I just think that all right, J-Mac, that's something. I mean, you might have to make an appearance. We miss you on here. We missed the old crew of myself and J-Mac and Vic and Ace just rambling on and hearing "Shut Up, Brandon" every other time I spoke. So, so yeah, Chris, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. So why don't you give us a 30 seconds of what's going on with Coast to Coast?
Great things coming to Coast to Coast. I'm not sure if OVW is tomorrow. I think they're doing their pay-per-view event tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll check on that, but normally we would have OVW tomorrow on Thursdays, and a lot of other great shows. So
Yeah, just keep checking us out. Chris will post if OVW is on tomorrow.
Yep.
If not, check it out next Thursday. Also, yes, J-Mac, thank you for reminding us. Congrats to the Oregon Cougars. We showed their last game. Well, we streamed them all season, but their last game was Saturday. They won 16-0. Was it, Chris? What was the final?
18-0.
18-0.
I know it was like,
Yeah. They squandered a few chances to really blow them out early, but I think it was nothing. It was 6-0 at halftime, I believe.
Yeah.
And where they had a chance to score some more, but good luck to them. J-Mac, I know he was doing the play-by-play. Chris was helping him produce it. Hopefully, we hear soon if they made the playoffs or not.
I think they missed out.
They missed out. Okay,
yeah.
I know it was a slim chance, but they had to take care of business themselves and win. So they did that.
I think one of the teams won their game, so that knocked Oregon out.
Oh, okay. All right. So keep checking us out all week long. We hope to have morning tailgate back in a couple weeks for our prediction segment and get that rolling. Tuesday night or on deck, Tuesday Night Mania, both on Tuesdays. Between the Rope on Sundays. What else we got, Chris? We got Creeping
Bo Joe Show.
Real. Bo and Joe Show. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep checking us out. For that being said, check us out next week. This is host Big B and Syrup Crispy Bacon, and you've been watching SportsMinute. Have a good weekend, guys.